Welcome back to the Road Show this morning in the Buzz. We've all complained about Rhode Island roads, and now the 19th annual highway report from the Reason Foundation.
That's me driving on the crazy road.
It actually says that we hold the honor of having the worst overall roads in the country.
Shocking.
Now, breaking down the survey, we came in second for, as Ben just exemplified, the bumpiest rural roads in the country. Alaska was first. Alaska. We also hold the title of the most troubled bridges in the country, with more than half the bridges deemed deficient, but that's not all. The Ocean State also has the least cost-effective roads, but in contrast to our interstate, it actually ranked first, although it may sound odd, we came in the third fewest fatalities. So that's good news.
You got to drive so slow because there's so many potholes.
That's right. We did come in dead last in the overall annual highway report. In the year 2000, we came in at number 36, and we've consistently gone down since then. Last year, hanging in at number 49, and this year finally drooping all the way to 50. Now, what I think is particularly interesting is that, you know, do you remember a few years back in the middle of the country, was it Minnesota, that where the bridge actually collapsed, buckled and collapsed?
Terrifying.
After that, states around the country started going, hold on a second, maybe this isn't something that we can just push off and push off and push off. And so it sounds as though we're prepped for some sort of, you know, catastrophe. I mean, to hear this particular report, which we haven't heard the state come out
the bumpy
and
roads,
talk about it yet.
you can almost laugh about, and we got, you know, potholes everywhere, but that's you know, after what happened in Minnesota, that's about as serious as you can get, saying that our, you know, most of our bridges are deficient. That's kind of scary.
We got the smallest state in the country. With that, I would assume that means the least amount of roads,
right,
or mileage of roads.
Yeah.
So why does this sort of stuff have to get us in the middle of the pack somewhere? I mean, that'd be better. And here's the other thing, you know, living in the East Bay, and I don't know if you're familiar with this road, but going from, like, you know,
Papa Squash, this guy?
No, going from like Providence to, like, if you're going to Bristol, it took them almost, I think, I was in college when they were starting to fix these two bridges, one in Barrington, the Barrington Bridge, one in Warren. I mean, I went to college, then I went and worked in New Hampshire, then I came back to Providence, then I got a different job in Providence, and then like 12 years later, two bridges, honestly, that were probably about 150 feet long, it took them about 12 years to replace these. They're still working on them.
Yeah, my feeling on that is probably that, you know, it was a lower priority because they weren't as heavily traveled, I'm guessing, but at some point, you're right, if you make the decision that these need to be replaced.
A lot of traffic on them, so that way you can get to Warren and Bristol from Barrington, I mean, and there's a lot of people that go on the East Bay if they don't want to go Route 24.
Yeah,
and the people that live in that area know exactly what I'm talking about. Miles and miles of backups on these roads. It was just a joke.
And so many, I mean, how many times were we doing stories about people during the historic floods whose roadways or bridges were washed out? You know, those, in a lot of cases, some of these bridges are built to withstand severe flooding and when they first come out with them. And you know, some people have been, it's so frustrating when the roads aren't in good condition because it makes everything else so, it compiles problems. Traffic becomes a problem. Time becomes a problem. Businesses that have been set up by a roadway that they think it has heavy traffic become blocked off.
I don't know much about the time schedule and when they schedule these projects too, but can't they do more of them at night? I mean, I see crews working overnight, and that's a tough job. Hey, I get up at 3 in the morning too. A lot of people have tough hours to get up for work, but it would seem to make more sense to do a lot more of these projects overnight than in the middle of the day or like on the Friday of a holiday week. And I will say this, though,
it's more expensive.
To give some, it is, but look where we're ranking in roads, the worst roads in the country. That's not something to be proud of. I will say this, though, the I-Way thing, that whole highway reconfiguration it has been great. I mean, it's cut down on the traffic. So we'll give you props going out here that it's to the highway department.
I'm here from East Greenwich in the morning in like 18 minutes.
Right.
I mean, it cuts off a ton.
Leadfoot.
And the survey did say that we actually do have some of the better highways in the country.
And you can see it.
It's these back roads.
It's true. You know, like one that runs from one end of the state to the other.
I don't go up there that often, thank God, but 99 over near Lincoln and Cumberland is, I mean, that's a road where you're doing 55, 60 miles an hour on, and it is brutal. I would not want to drive that every day yet. That'll take years off the life of your car, guaranteed.
Well, you know, we're talking about a number of different areas, but Mel, I'd love to hear what some people on our live blog are saying about the roads that they travel the most.
Yeah, well, I have to say I agree with you, Ben. That 146 Route 99 area, I was going to mention it. I drive there almost every day to go up and visit my mom, and I am so thankful they are finally repaving it because it's awful. The potholes are everywhere. There's no way around it. But let's head on over to the live blog right now on foxprovidence.com and see what some of our bloggers have to to say this Tuesday morning. Smokey Wolf says we have several roads which need a lot of attention, and people who ride bikes here have to ride in the middle of the roadway because the sides are no good to ride, so it's been hard to drive around here all summer with bikers in the roadway. And that sounds like a safety issue as well. Diana says, I'm always finding myself complaining that the roads need to be repaved everywhere in Rhode Island. I don't know which roads need it more. They all need it. And Joe A. says, one of the reasons we have bad roads is the governor spends all the stimulus money on other things like the budget. And in case you're just joining us this morning, posted today's Buzz Poll question on foxprovidence.com. And today we're asking, which area do you think is the most important for the DOT to focus on first? Your choices are A, interstates, B, secondary roads, or C, bridges. And as always, our friends on Facebook are weighing in this morning. Brian Birch says they need to focus on 216 in Ashaway. If you like roller coasters, it's the road to travel with all the dips, frost heaves, and potholes. And Shelley clearly writes, there are roads here in Little Compton that were supposed to be done, but haven't yet been done. So now all they do is patch over patches, making the roads worse to drive on. And Pamela says the DOT should first focus on ensuring the passengers that ride on RIPTA buses. So a lot of interesting comments from our bloggers, and I guess, you know, all of the roads are equally important. I think bridges should take priority, though. That's just my personal preference. I'll be back at the end of the